This is my Pygmy Python, the smallest python in the world, and she hasn't eaten in over 4 months. We're currently in the tail end of winter here in Australia. It's been very cold, and I like to brumate most of my animals. This little python has been hiding away for the last few months, not really coming out at all. It's been much too cold for her to even bother. But thankfully, the weather is starting to ever so slowly warm up, which means the animals are starting to emerge. So she's finally decided to climb up and start getting a bit of heat sitting there underneath that nice hot spot. And even the little depressor next door there has got the same idea. They're all starting to come out as well. Now, I only saw her come out a handful of times throughout winter, and it was really only on the warmer nights. You'd see her climbing around some of the branches and things. The other 99% of the time, she was down here under all of her hide rocks, in that little hide under there, bunkered down, trying to stay out of the horrible cold. This is really quite an important process for these animals, to have that cool down time, to slow down that metabolism and experience some colder weather. It's what they would have in the wild, and it is a really nice break for them, as well as for me, not having to feed them and look after them so intensely. That being said though, I do always miss seeing the animals out and about and using these beautiful habitats that take me a long time to make.
I think your Pygmy Python enclosure, the mock rock on there, was some of the best that I've seen done with this tile pointing.
Like I said to you guys before we started, I got very frustrated with that whole process. I wanted to smash it with a hammer a few times. I still kind of do in some spots.
So it's awesome to see her coming out and enjoying it. Now, even though it's been over 4 months since she's had a feed, you can see she really hasn't lost much, if any condition at all. She's still nice and full looking, very healthy, definitely not overweight, and healthy as ever. So it goes to show how tough these animals are and how little food they can really run off. Even when I do feed this animal, she only gets fed about once a month. You really don't want to overfeed these critters. It's just going to do them detriment in the long term. I really do absolutely adore this little snake. It's such a perfect size little reptile pet. Really easy to house and really easy to look after as well. So it's been 4 months. We're going to pull some food for her and see if she wants to have a meal. There you go. I'll be back with a tasty little rodent for you. So it turns out I'm actually all out of rodents, and all I have left is these 2 baby quails, but that'll suffice very, very well. I enjoy feeding quail to the animals. And because I'm leaving this to a bit late in the day, I'm going to thaw this one with some warm water. So while we let that defrost, let's see if any of the other animals are out and about. The little pygmy spiny-tailed skink family have all emerged. They're out and about, starting to eat some food, and fingers crossed this season they have some more babies, because they are really just one of the cutest little reptiles you're ever going to come across. I absolutely love them. Got some little hatchling Boyd's forest dragons in here that are doing well, growing, getting bigger. Feisty little buggers. And they'll be going to their new home in the next week or so. Gosh, they're adorable when they're this small. The Centralian blue tongues are also out and about. They've woken up, looking really good, but I don't think too much is going on the breeding front just yet. So the mountain dragons have been doing quite well. There's one that's been out for quite a few weeks now, eating and being active. It goes to show every animal is a little bit different. That one's been out for quite a while, but the other one is still buried under the ground here. I think it's under this, yeah, right there. Just still sleeping and brumating. Hopefully she'll be out soon as the weather continues to warm up just that little bit more. And there's these little maniacs, just like the little baby Boyds. These guys are off to their new home, hopefully within the next week or so. But they are just so damn cute. Always hungry though, as you can see. They'll just follow you around and always want another bit of food. So now the quail's defrosted, I'm just going to pop it onto some paper towel to remove any excess water on the surface of it, just in case somehow the Pygmy Python might get down onto the substrate. I don't want it sticking to the food item and potentially being ingested. So it's much later in the day now. You can see the daytime lights are off, only the afternoon heating is on. Our food item here is defrosted. So I'm going to pick this up and see what she thinks. You can see her there patiently waiting for something to happen. So let's see what she thinks of this. I don't know about you guys, but I've probably seen snakes feeding over 1,000 times now, and it's still crazy to me how they manage to eat something as large as they do. It's such a different way of feeding, and it is always just a fascinating process to watch a snake actually feed. So give the video a like if you want to see more things like this, and we are going to speed this up and watch this little pygmy python smash down this pretty large quail. Well, probably anything looks large compared to the smallest python in the world. Well, after 4 months, I imagine it feels pretty good to have a feed. And I reckon she's just going to hang out in this little crevice here where she feels nice and safe and where it's quite warm because it's actually right near where the heat source is.
12 seconds later.
And in typical form, she's actually inching her way out ever so slowly, expecting some more food. This animal's a little pig, that is for sure. Oh look, she literally thinks she's going to get more. That is an adorable little snake. That really is part of the fun of keeping snakes. They are pretty goofy little animals at the best of times. Never enough. You can even see right back there is the food. And she decided now it's not worth it. She'll go back and hide. Now, even though it's still a bit cool at the moment, these animals will still be out and active during cooler times of the year. My friend Sam found a few on a trip a few months ago. How bloody cool are they? Something I really love about that clip is the fact that the natural environment looks so similar to what I've actually created here in this enclosure. And now, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen the build for this, make sure you go back and check that out. Otherwise, after 4 months, she ate the food, no worries at all. I'm really excited to see her back out again. And make sure you stick around for other new videos because all the other animals are starting to wake up as well. I'll see you then.